Hi, I'm State Senator Joe Markley from Southington, standing here in the State Senate chamber, which is completely quiet today, although a couple of weeks ago we were here for a one-day special session, and on Monday we may be back for a veto override session. So let me talk about those two events. First, the one-day special session was on June 29th, and the purpose of that session was to pass those dread implementer bills, which are designed to implement the budget. Because the budget passed so late in the regular session, there wasn't time for the implementers to be taken up. So after a few weeks of further negotiation and finagling and the addition of more irrelevant legislation into the implementer, we were brought in on Monday the 29th to face an implementer bill of about 600 pages, over 400 sections, and let's say dozens of them which were not technical as it's supposed to be, but policy related. The one part of it that attracted the most debate was a proposal put into the implementer that would take money designated to raise the salaries of service workers at nursing homes and disproportionately direct it to unionized workers at the expense of non-unionized workers. I actually brought an amendment out to undo that change, and part of the argument is the fact that it seems to us, and now apparently seems to some of the Democrats as well, that that might be illegal, and in any case would go against the federal standards and might result in us losing federal money. Nonetheless, my amendment went down on a party line vote. If the policy is going to be changed, it'll have to be changed by the governor later. So the implementer was the same old nonsense, and I spoke on it and on the fact that I believe that this kind of bad procedure, putting policy into what's supposed to be a technical bill, putting proposals forward which had failed in committee, or in some cases had never even been considered in committee, is the kind of behavior that we should be able to fix. It's not a matter of party, it's not a matter of philosophy, it's just a matter of doing our business in an orderly way. And we're as capable of doing that as any legislature that might come along in subsequent years. I feel like I'm making some progress on this, in that certainly my own party has taken up this as a rallying cry, and I think that some of the Democrats, I think all of them realize that it ought to be corrected. And the press has picked up on it too to some extent. So that was the special session. The veto session scheduled for Monday is a different kind of session. After the governor has gone through all the bills which he either signs or vetoes or allows to become law without a signature, the legislature is required to come back in for the possibility of taking up an override of the governor's veto. Obviously, a vetoed bill can still become law if both chambers pass it by a 2/3 majority or more. Since I've been back here in 2011, although we've had formal veto override sessions, they've been purely technical. We come in, we gavel in, the majority leader says there's no business, and we gavel out again. I think that's ridiculous. I don't see any reason not to take up bills. I don't think it's an insult to the governor to vote on one of his vetoes any more than it's an insult to the legislature to veto a bill. That's just the way government works. It's a little different this year, in part I think because some of the Democrats are very frustrated with the governor and with his behavior generally. Frustrated too by the fact that he has blamed his own Democratic allies for the lousy budget and the huge tax increase, which they together have stuck us with. I think also one of the bills in particular, which would have required that the state education commissioner going forward be an experienced educator himself or herself, passed almost unanimously, but was vetoed by the governor. The teachers union would very much like to see us take it up. I'm speaking to you Thursday afternoon. It's still not clear whether we'll actually attempt to take a vote on anything or if, again, it will just be a kind of a formality, a session which isn't really a session, just to correspond with state law. So that's what's going on here in the Senate chamber these weeks. And otherwise, there are legislative meetings in a slow way. I was up here today for a briefing on a change in a Medicaid waiver that I expect I'll be voting on in August. And the department explained their reasoning and addressed our concerns about it. So that kind of business continues. And of course, I am available. It's a good time of year. In fact, if you're looking to get in touch with me, you can always contact me through my office up here in Hartford, through my website, senatormarkley.com, and I'd be happy to hear from you and hope to have the chance to see you, and I'll be back with another update in a few weeks. Thank you.